next quote is, the three in one, the one in three, not so. To my own gods I go. It may be they shall give me greater ease than your cold Christ and tangled trinities. Rudyard Kipling, 1865 to 1936, British author, poet, Plain Tales from the Hills. There were honest people long before there were Christians. There are, God be praised, still honest people where there are no Christians. It could therefore easily be possible that people are Christians because true Christianity corresponds to what they would have been, would have been, even if Christianity did not exist. G.C. Littenberg, 1742 to 1799, a German physicist, philosopher. Two great European narcotics, alcohol and Christianity. Friedrich Nietzsche, 1844 to 1900, a German philosopher. Twilight of the Idols, What the Germans Lack. The next quote, the Bible and the church have been the greatest stumbling blocks in the way of women's emancipation. Elizabeth Cady Stanton, 1815 to 1902, U.S. campaigner for women's rights, Free Thought magazine. Next quote, imagine there's no heaven, it's easy if you try, no hell below us, above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You might say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one. Now we all know who that was, the beloved John Lennon from the song Imagine. The next quote, you're not the only one with mixed emotions. You're not the only one adrift on this ocean. The Rolling Stones in the song Mixed Emotions. The next quote, the kingdom of God cometh not with observation, neither shall they say, lo here or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Jesus, son of Mary. And that is the quotes that opens the chapter, and this begins the chapter. In the last way message, we talked about the Buddha and his teachings. These were given to you as the basic spiritual tools necessary to use the knowledge that would follow. Some have asked me why I did not talk of the Hindu religion. The knowledge for the people of India was given during the period when the Dhamma introduced generic laws and philosophies to various populations of the world. Just as Jesus and Muhammad brought their knowledge to their people, so too did the Buddha bring his to the Hindus. Much of what is contained in the Way messages can be found in Hindu teachings. The Way is meant for Hindus and for all mankind. Some have asked why I did not relate their gods to the Anunnaki, Ankh, and daughters of Ma, Doma. They may see this as being kinder to them than other religions. That which I tell you concerns and is relevant to all religions. The Hindus, because of their belief structure, should have the least trouble of accepting and making use of all I say. Perhaps I have been gentler to their beliefs. Perhaps there is a reason, one of a personal nature. It is one that only the children of the Hind can fully understand and appreciate. They should know that I expect them to use the Way to better themselves and to work with all their hearts to unify the spirit of mankind. I give them now this small clue, so that they may have better understanding and faith. She who sent me is the Shakti they call Maya. She is the leader of the Doma. But there is another of the Doma who has a much more special and personal relationship for me. She is the Shakti of my heart. Her name is Kali. To those Hindus of understanding, this should come as no surprise. That which is destroyed is also restored, and in so doing becomes greater. This way message will deal with the second phase of the Messiah project. I will warn you now that to those who have used the great gift of Jesus for their own selfish needs, I will not be kind. For those that fail to see the hand of God in him that was sent, I will not be kind. The Jews refused to see. The Christians saw nothing else. Blindness befell them both. Pride is the ultimate sin before the eyes of God. For this point forward, the gloves come off. This does not mean that I think either of these two people unacceptable. On the contrary, I care deeply for both. The children of Israel have endured much at the hands of others over the course of time. They have a right to exist as a people and a nation. One of my closest and dearest friends is Jewish. Another close friend is a born-again Christian. I love them both for who and what they are. I respect their rights to believe whatever and whomever they choose. But do not forget this as you read this way message. Jesus, noun, number 1. A teacher and prophet who lived in the first century of this era and whose life and teachings form the basis of Christianity. Christians believe Jesus to be Son of God and the Christ. 2. Christian Science, the highest human corporal concept of the divine ideal. Mary Baker Eddy. Christians and Jews are two of the three peoples known as the children of the books, the people of Islam being the older. The books which this statement references are the Torah, Old Testament, the Gospels, New Testament, and the Quran. The books were given to mankind by the Doma. They contain the history of much of the world and their knowledge of God. They were made to be used together as a single great book. The story of how the second volume of the great book came into mankind's possession is this way's message main topic. It will deal with the life and teachings of the man known as Jesus, the son of Mary. The Doma saw the success of the Buddha as a good sign. Teachings have been introduced to a large group of people. They waited 500 years for these teachings to spread and for their effects to become known. They chose the people of the Middle East as the next recipients. The Doma has previously worked with a particular group of people living in the region called the Hebrews. The reason they chose these people is that they represented a